up, guys? Welcome to the video today. Now today we're going to be focusing on the AMG. We're going to be getting this thing running in this video, at least we hope to. But before we proceed on with getting this thing started, we're going to need to go over some things we've done already.
We're getting the C63 closer back together. We did a few things with the M156, which comes in an E63 and other platforms. Our car is a C63. Now, when you buy these cars, there's some things you should know about this engine, let alone this platform. No matter how good a condition the C or E, the 6.2 liter, there's certain issues you have to deal with. Every engine, unless it's already been done. That would be your valve covers leaking in the rear. They all traditionally do that. Also, your camshafts. You need to know the condition of those and whether or not they have the upgraded SLS lifters in them. Well, our car did not because it's an early 2009. So we handled those issues. We also checked the cam adjusters, which are up front inside these housings, and check those. If you do those three components in each head, you've got a good car. If not, replace it all. And oh, by the way, being that the engine serial number is within the affected range, our head bolts were definitely the wrong type. So our head bolts got changed also. So we really have a fresh top end in this car. Everything looks good. Typically on these cars, these are really bad on fan belt and fan belt pulleys. Typically what happens is your power steering reservoir ends up leaking from the cap down through, contaminating, gets the belt, and then also your pulleys go apart. So we've addressed all the pulleys, checked each one. A few little other issues just based off of previous ownership. We fixed that. We're going to put oil in it today and some antifreeze in it. We should get it cranked. Now the first thing we're going to do before we do that is we're going to have the injectors disconnected, and we're going to have the spark plugs disconnected. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to create as least stress as possible on the engine, so that way we can get and build our oil pressure. So as you know, these engines are pretty difficult on the camshafts with the oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that, and we're going to bump it over. We're going to pull the oil cap, look inside there in the chain and inside the head, make sure I have oil flowing. Then we'll put the coils in with the spark plugs, connect it all up. Also put the rest of the intake back in and clear all the codes. And then we're going to give her a crank. And now there's a procedure we're going to go through. Now this was supplied to me by the lifter manufacturer. Now I've looked on various sites and I've done a lot of homework, and based off of what I can see, there's really no break-in procedure for new camshafts for this engine. Some people are doing it different ways. This way, for me, is the best way because I want to build the oil pressure in the adjusters. In this situation, a lot of things had to be removed to change things out, like the pulleys. Some of the hoses were oil soaked due to the oil leaks. So we changed all our hoses and did all of that. We're also flushing. We flushed the whole system. So we're going to be adding in brand new G48, which is blue for European, which meets the spec 325 for this engine. You know, speaking of the rest of the car, we took care of the engine, but the rest of the car, not in bad shape. Typically, whenever you see a C-Class Mercedes vehicle, typically a 63, because this upper panel gets removed pretty frequent for maintenance inside on the front side, i.e. an example, changing out the pulleys. Okay, these seals are typically eroded, missing, torn. So I elected to get a brand new Mercedes top panel for the radiator because, you know, that's what I want. I want to put it back to where she's nice, original condition. Also, another point of interest is being at this vehicle, the C63s have black plastic grills on the front. Now they're pretty durable, but yet they are plastic. So a lot of vehicles, due to UV and age, are going to crack right through here. So what I did was I put in 3 brand new air grills. Now right behind here, the main front air grill is your main oil cooler. The main oil cooler, while you're there, you might as well check it and clean it. But unless you pull the front fascia off of the vehicle, you end up going in underneath the bottom and pulling out the oil cooler. Sounds worse than it is. To get to the grill, because this grill really is anchored in here very well. So this car is obviously engineered for higher speed. Okay, also on the passenger side, there's another small grill that was cracked, and it was cracked right through here. Now behind that is a fan in your auxiliary oil cooler. That auxiliary oil cooler is a smaller radiator. Now we've had to take that out also to get that grill out. So when you do that, we found a lot of debris on the front side of that one. Now the reason you want to do that is because these engines generate a lot of heat. So they're pretty critical on the oil temperature. So we did that. We addressed, changed our grills, and while we're also there, typically on these older glass, these are very well built Hella units, they're usually either cracked or worn out or burnt out. So I elected, because we took everything out, to change the fog lights and the bezels.
Okay guys, so the oil we opted to go for this thing is our AMSOIL European car formula oil. And if you remember from the last videos, that's actually was what's in the diesel powered Grand Cherokee. So that's what will be going into this engine, which is gasoline, but it's the same oil for both of them. Now, the main thing that's important here is that we meet the Mercedes-Benz 229.5 spec. And that's what this oil does. So we're all finished up on the oil for right now. We got as much in there. Like I said, once we start the thing and prime everything, we'll go back and recheck it. But for now, we need to get some antifreeze in this thing. What we got is the G48 Xerox. This is Mercedes-Benz spec stuff. They even make it for Teslas, which I didn't even know Teslas had antifreeze in them, but who knows. So anyway, this is concentrate, so we got to mix it with some distilled water, which you'll see us do now. Okay guys, so we got all the fluids in this thing now. We got it rolled outside. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to give this thing a couple draw starts. The spark plugs are out of it, and the oil's in it. So what we're going to try to do is get the starter to turn over the oil pump to get the oil primed through the system.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not sure how much oil got up in there, but you know, we gave it our best try anyway. But right now we're going to start putting the spark plugs back in this thing and the air box, so we can actually do the official crank up, and this thing will hopefully run. So one cool trick is, if you don't have a spark plug socket that's the right size, take a piece of heater hose and put it on the end of the spark plug that's the right size, and you know, kind of feed that down in there to get it hand threaded or started.
Okay, here we are. We're putting the plugs back in. Now we're doing the cool packs. Mercedes recommends a special ceramic lube or grease, if you will, to the spark plugs, so that way you don't damage the boots whenever you take them back out to change spark plugs. Incidentally, it's the same ceramic grease as you used on the 3-liter turbo diesel, the Mercedes-Benz unit, OM642. Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to start up our M156, and what we're going to do is first startup is going to see how much lifter noise we get. You're going to get some. She fills up with oil. Then they want us to go from 2,000 to 3,000 RPM and hold that for approximately 4 minutes, and then go back down to idle for about 30 seconds, and then do it again for another 4 minutes and see where we're at.
Okay guys, so as you see, this thing is running really rough. It is not the outcome we've hoped for. From reading the codes and going to the back of the car and feeling each side of the exhaust, basically this whole passenger side is not firing. We're getting no firing on this passenger side, and our codes and our physical evidence is that's what it's telling us. And this side over here, you know, is getting really hot. This side's fine, but it's all 1 through 4 over here that's not firing. So we're gonna have to go through, look at some things, and try to figure it out. Okay guys, so that's probably gonna be on a wrap on today's video because we kind of ran out of time. It's dark out, it's getting pretty late, and you know, we are kind of at a loss here. So we're gonna have to do some research, look at a few things, and that's just gonna be that. But hey guys, like, subscribe, comment. If you know what could maybe be wrong, comment. Definitely comment. And make sure you subscribe because you're going to want to see, you know, we're going to find the fix this thing. We're going to fix this thing. And you guys are going to want to be around when we fix this thing and take it on its maiden voyage. So with all that said, I'll catch you guys next time.
And basically, we're going to suck it. Mercedes recommends a special ceramic lube or grease, if you will, on the spark plug